I put my name on the paper and I submitted it to the journal.
You did what? That's fraud.
No, it's not. I have a stack of papers with my research over there, and if you try to take my name off of it, I will...
How would Davy put it?
I will go ham on your ass.
Poorna, I wanted to start by saying I really liked your interview in the LA Times because there's this part of it where you were talking about how we don't often cry when we're watching comedies, but like watching Never Have I Ever, like I always just like sob for whatever reason, because like I think it is like what you said, like you're unpacking like your own sort of like emotional trauma. Do you think like your show can help heal people in some sense, or is that, you know, a lofty goal?
No, it's like first level goals here. First level. Yeah, I really do. First of all, growing up and never seeing yourself in media or in magazines or out there, you always feel like you don't belong and you feel like an outsider, right? And I think media can actually help create space for you, space that at that age you are unable to create for yourself. So we always say, oh my, I wish we had this show. When we were growing up, it would just, you know, I grew up in an all white school, and there was a level of invisibility, and that preoccupied me, that I think even if you have this show out there, you don't feel as alone. I think it gives people a tremendous sense of healing and tremendous sense of belonging.
I mean, also in the same article, you talked a little bit about how Nalini, like we always see Indian moms written a certain type of way as these like hard driving moms, even like on reality shows, that's like often what we see from Indian moms. And we're sort of starting to see a little more of like what drives her and some of the inability that she occasionally has to connect with Davy. Who do you think she is sort of at heart?
I think who you see her now is different from probably who she was before. I think when Mohan was around, she, you know, when you see their scenes, there's a softness to the frame. It's a flashback scene. It's a haziness, and I think she had a softness to her. I think someone had her back. Someone was co-parenting. She wasn't alone, and I think she has got her. And you see her when she has her armor on, when she has to keep things together, when she has to keep this family together, and she cannot fall apart. And I think you see breaks in that. You know, her relationship with Common is, you know, the writing around it was again very soft, very vulnerable, just to show that there's still a beating heart under all that armor.
Richa, Kamala changed a lot during season 1, but she changes even more in season 2. How, you know, where do you think she's going? I mean, without giving too much away, like, you know, who do you think, you know, she's going to end up being?
I think, yeah, you're right. She does change a lot in season 2 as compared to season 1. And I don't necessarily think it's actually that she's changing. It's more that she's learning and growing and figuring out how to stand up for herself and how to use her voice, which is something that so many of us women and women of color have struggled with. I'll speak for myself personally. And I think that I want to continue to see her, if we have a season 3, to continue on that path of not taking no for an answer and not taking misogyny at the workplace or in her relationship, and really learning to do what feels right for her without caring about pleasing other people.
Poorna, you hadn't done much comedy before the show. How much of a learning curve was there for you to sort of like to put it all together?
Yeah, and I wasn't given the chance. Like once you're a dramatic actor, I wouldn't even get the opportunity to audition. People think they know you. It happens with, you know, you see this with Caucasian actors. Like they will do, the range is so amazing, and they're given opportunities and given the chance to reinvent themselves. And minority actors don't have that. They're pigeonholed very fast. So I couldn't even get into a casting room that had comedy going on because I didn't have the experience. But that said, it's a huge learning curve. There's something about pace in comedy that was, you know, I routinely have people like Lang and Chris tape the lines for me because I'm not listening for delivery, I'm listening for pace. My pace is so different from what is American comedy. So it's a lot of training. I spend a lot of time working on the comedy outside.
But I would say that Poorna in real life is hilarious and she has natural comedic timing. So don't believe her when she says that she had to like learn comedic timing, all that. She already has it. She just doesn't trust herself.